is up? You are watching Space Captain Comics and Super Palomo Bros. Today we are finally getting around to doing the Amazing Spider-Man 1 breakdown. So we are looking at the 2018 relaunch by Nick Spencer and Ryan Ottley. There you go, like 4 or 5 copies over there. So how are you feeling about this video, Shane?
Dude, I'm so super excited. I've been wanting to do this run, this full breakdown spoiler review for a very long time, dude. I'm just happy to do it with you, Tom, man. I'm really excited, bro.
Yeah, it's going to be a good one. So we are looking at this book that came out on July 2018. So this is taking over from Dan Slott. So Dan Slott's 10-year run ended, and then Nick Spencer was chosen to write this, and you have Ryan Ottley, who is on artwork. And it is a run that we both really appreciate, we really are into, but we think it's flying under the radar a little bit. Not many people are talking about it, not too many people are interested, and a lot of people that I follow pick it up and drop it quite frequently, just depending on what's going on in the story at the moment. But we're going to bring some light onto why we love this series and what is good about it. So this is your full breakdown.
Yeah. Well, first, before we get into the book, I wanted to, go over the cover and review it as well with you, the cover A. So the art is done by the cover art was done by Ryan Ottley, and you have here is, yep, if you guys look, it's a full wraparound comic book, and it is amazing. You have Spider-Man just right there dangling upside down. I think that's my son banging on the door. But hold on right quick. Go ahead and review it for him real quick. Let me go see this kid real quick.
Yeah, so you have got Rhino, you've got Mysterio, you've got Lizard, Kraven, Electro, Vulture, Scorpion, you've got Randy Robertson and his wife, Venom's on there at the bottom as well. So you've got this whole host of the characters from this universe, or this comic series rather, which is really cool in this wraparound. So you know what you're getting into, you know which characters are going to feature in the first few story arcs. So yeah, it's really, really exciting, and it's just such a cool cover. Always love a wraparound, but this is particularly quite a good one.
Definitely, it is fantastic. I love Ryan Ottley's art. I just want to say that he killed it in Invincible over there in Image Comics, and I'm just so happy that Marvel decided to land on him to do the interior artwork for this Amazing Spider-Man run. I think that duo with Nick Spencer and Ryan Ottley is just, it's fantastic. And like I said, if you guys follow us to do the rest of the breakdowns for the rest of the Amazing Spider-Man run, you'll see beautiful artwork done by this man, and the writing as well with Nick Spencer. So it's fantastic.
So yeah, they're a great pair. Sometimes you get good writing and bad artwork, or good artwork and bad writing. But this duo is great. They both complement each other so well. The writing is really good, and the artwork also complements it quite well. But the thing is, with Nick Spencer, it's quite a slow burn, so he does take quite a while to develop story and things like that. But for me, that's something that I enjoy reading. I enjoy kind of like the slow take on it, because a lot of other series are fast paced. Like Donny Cates, it's like bam, 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 which is cool. Right. It's nice to have something a bit different. But yeah, it's a great duo. Speaking of duos, this is also a great duo, Space Captain Comics and Super Palomo Bros. Please like and subscribe, comment on the video, and show some love for both channels, because we are enjoying bringing this content together to you. So yeah. Let's get into it. Yeah.
Let's get into it. Let's do it. All right, Tom, you want to start it off, brother?
Yeah. So we start with this Amazing Spider-Man issue 1, and it goes to a dream sequence, which is on the top of the Empire State Building. So it's a really nice interaction between Peter and Mary Jane. This actually references a story from the Sensational Spider-Man Annual 1, and that is the Back in Black series. So this has happened before, but it's just a flashback dream sequence to that. And it just starts with Peter saying that there's a reason that we tell ourselves stories. The details we focus on, the ones we leave out, the order we put things in, it all matters sometimes a lot. And it's just the way that you look back on memories and events and things like that, and he's just commenting on things that have happened in his life. And it's a really nice little sequence.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like Tom said, like I love the I don't know, like just this the personal side of Peter and stuff like that, and showing like no matter what's going, like in this whole scene right here, the first 2 pages of the comic is just how personal it is between him and Mary Jane, and like no matter what's going on in his world, him, via happening to Peter or Spider-Man or both, he knows that he's gonna be all right if he has his girl by his side, his serenity, his peace, and stuff like that. So that's really cool, and it's really personal, and it can relate to anybody. That's why I love Spider-Man. So yeah, it's fantastic.
Yeah. Well, I was just going to say as well, yeah, Spider-Man is that character that everybody can relate to. He's got normal people problems. We've all got the same money problems.
Exactly.
Because we're buying too many Spider-Man comics.
Yeah.
But yeah, relationship, everything is so relatable. And he's just an every person superhero, I would say. But this just is a really nice way to start it. It gets you on board with that sort of mentality that we all have. So yeah, it's a really nice sequence.
Definitely.
Do you want to move into the next bit?
Yeah. So after his dream sequence, he's awoke. He woken up by one of his roommates, I say, playing this freaking Call of Duty game, like really super loud, and then it's hilarious with the interaction between him and both his roommates and stuff. He walks out. He's like super fucking upset. He's like, "Why the hell am I getting woken up by super loud, video games?" And then they introduce one of his roommates, and his name is Randy Robertson. And it says right here in the dialogue, it says, "One of my best friends and the son of my boss at the Daily Bugle." Peter says he's cool. He says, Randy says, "Morning, Pete. Wants some cereal crumbs." I guess, that's the bootleg version of whatever that is in that universe. And then you hear his other roommate in the background. He said, "Oh, that's my bad, fellas." And then he switches over and he says, "But this guy right here," he said, "this guy is the worst." He says, and then the dude says, "Needed some rations ahead of the big boom stat." He's speaking about the video game offense. "I still got some Cheetos if you want." "No, wait, hold on." And then he he grabs a Cheeto from deep inside the couch, and he said, "One Cheeto, but it's all yours to share." So like this is gonna be that type of roommate and that kind of guy, and that type of roommate that's just like you just can't stand and you just hate. But you can't just get rid of him, you know what I'm saying? Because like he says that he's paying rent, we need him, to survive. But it shows later on who his roommate is, and who is his roommate, Tom, the one that he hates so very much.
So his roommate is someone that he has seen working with the Kingpin recently, and he is a villain called Boomerang. So this is the first time that we meet Boomerang in this series. And yeah, he has recently been working with the Kingpin to do a museum heist. So we find out later on in this series what they actually were looking for in that museum, so we won't spoil that. Yeah. But yeah, already him and Spider-Man are on the wrong side of each other, but they don't know who each other are. And Spider-Man obviously, or Peter can obviously reveal that. So what a sticky situation to be in. You have to sort of, converse with this person, live in the same four walls as them, and it's like, you hate that person. You don't want to be anywhere near them. So already that is something we can all relate to, that annoying brother or sister or whatever. It's so relatable.
Yeah, and I just wanted to highlight again at the last panel of this page when Spider-Man actually ran across Boomerang, and he had stolen something from that museum that Kingpin was really interested in, like Tom said, but we're not going to spoil what that is, you know what I'm saying, because we had to go over it as well. And he ends up getting away, and actually Spider-Man lets him get away because it's like if Kingpin is interested into it, he'd rather Boomerang get away with it instead of Kingpin, because he feels like Kingpin is more of a threat to have whatever that may be than Boomerang. So I guess it is a smart decision from Peter's standpoint, you know what I'm saying? So that was that. Yeah. So we're gonna flip over to the next page, and it just gives some more dialogue about Peter just hating his roommate. His name is Fred Myers, by the way. Boomerang's real name is Fred Myers, and he just how much like he hates him and stuff like that. And he's it goes, and then Randy's just pretty much saying him like he's not a bad guy. He's not bad after all. You know what I'm saying? He holds conversation. He's funny and stuff like that. And then they skip to down here. It says, I don't know what you're complaining about. Didn't you need to be up already for that early morning press conference at ESU? And then Peter's like, huh? He said, that's Tuesday. And then Randy's like, Pete, what day do you think it is? And then Pete, which is so funny, this face, he's like, other Tuesday? And then he said, which is ridiculous, I know, but to be fair, you know, he says that he has a lot going on in his mind. And you get this beautiful splash page of Ryan Otley's art with, like, pretty much all of the Marvel superheroes, as you can see in one splash page, going against this horde of, like, bugs or monsters or whatever have you and stuff like that. So that's fantastic. So it's just a lot going on in Pete's plate. And, you know, I mean, again, as Spider-Man has all the problems in the world and he's trying to juggle it all at once. So, yeah. Then you go ahead, bro.
Yeah, so on the splash page, we've got a whole host of Marvel heroes. We've got like Iron Man, Captain America, Doctor Strange, She-Hulk, The Thing. You got Rogue, Gambit, Iron Fist, Black Panther, Wolverine, Thor. So it's just a really, really cool page. But we don't know anything about this alien invasion. Obviously, Peter's just talking about what he has got going on. And then you've got all of the heroes sort of trying to fight and find out what the alien invasion is about. All of the teams sort of talking about like, oh, what other superheroes are coming. And then Spider-Man turns up, and I think that's Luke Cage and Iron Fist sort of say, oh, God, it's this guy. Mm-hmm. Which is just like, oh, man. He's not got a warm welcome there. So he is, you're not so friendly neighborhood Spider-Man in that situation. So we sort of start to get tweaks in the dynamic of the comic. So things seem to be going quite well, but then it's like, all those little bits that, you know, all those problems that Spider-Man usually has are sort of creeping through. Mm-hmm. He talks about like the disappointing response that he gets from all those other heroes when he goes to help out.
Right.
And then, it moves back to a few weeks ago and you get a bit more context as to why maybe some of those heroes aren't really trusting Spider-Man at the moment. So, do you want to go through the next couple of pages?
Yeah, so it shows... Like Tom said, like it says a few weeks ago, and like you show Spider-Man doing this action freaking break through the window type deal, and he's trying to stop these two guys that it looks like they're trying to break into a vault, but come to find out, they open the vault and it's freaking Kingpin at the other side of that vault with a congratulations Spider-Man banner, and he's trying to pretty much, you know, he's giving Spider-Man the key to the city, you know what I'm saying, and Spider-Man is just like, come on, man. I'm not having that. I'm not going to accept your key to the city. You're freaking Kingpin. Get out of here. You know what I'm saying? So, he knows that, there's another underlining thing with the Kingpin. I'm like, I'm not going to trust you. So he dips out and he doesn't accept the key. And then it flashes forward back to the fighting scene with all the Marvel superheroes. And it shows Daredevil and Spider-Man. And, to highlight the new Daredevil real quick, who showed up in the last Daredevil, bro? Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Spider-Man. Yeah, that was a wicked panel, that was, yeah.
Yeah.
And the whole reason that he turns up in Daredevil at 21, I think it is, I'm not going to say why, but it's really cool. I love it. Anytime Spider-Man shows up in any series, I get like a little schoolgirl.
Yeah, I just want to bring that out because he was in here too as well. So, let's go. Let's see. Yeah, they're just down there. They're fighting. Like I said, they're fighting that horde of alien invasion or monsters or whatever. And it fast forwards to him, Peter Parker, at his ESU conference meeting. And the dialogue reads that at least things were seeming pretty swell at my other job. Yeah, that's me, a proud charter member of the lamestream media, covering big time stories for the Daily Bugle. Said, yes, sir. I definitely come a long way from selling freelance photos of myself as Spider-Man to Triple J, which is J. Jonah Jameson. These days, I've climbed myself all the way to the position of science editor. The job comes with a regular, if not entirely spectacular salary, benefits, even a sexy massage chair, perhaps the best of it all. So it's really cool, and it gives you some more insight on on Peter and how he's been doing with his life, and how, like it says right here in this two panels, that he come pretty far. You know what I'm saying? And it's cool because you want to cheer for Peter, because he's always been going, getting the shit end of the stick and stuff like that. But it's really cool to see that he actually is getting some type of success and some type of happiness and stuff like that in his life, because Pete's just always down, man. Such a downer sometimes, man. So it's good to have that. So what else ended up happening, bro, in this scene, which is crazy?
Just to say, at this point in the comic, so he's got a really great relationship with Mary Jane going on. He has got a really good job, and he's respected by his peers, which respect for Peter is a big thing. He doesn't care about fanfare or anything like that. He just wants his loved one respect. So what the Kingpin is actually doing, the reason that he gave him the key to the city, is he wants to isolate Spider-Man. He wants to make sure that he's got nothing else around him. And you can see that sort of started with the other heroes. They don't really trust him. This key to the city thing's a bit dodgy. So he goes to ESU. He's invited to give a talk with a lady, Cindy, is it Lawton? Yeah, Cindy Lawton is giving a talk today. So she has created a device that detects plagiarism. So anyone that doesn't know what plagiarism is, that is basically if you were to write a document and it's already been done and you've used someone else's work, that is plagiarism. So if I was to write this comic and publish it in my name, that would be plagiarism. So this automatically detects what that does, which, to be fair, that's on Google already. You can do a plagiarism checker quite easily, but she's done some sort of major thing. So basically, she runs. She asks Peter to come up on stage. She's like, "Oh, Peter, he is a really great ESU alumni. He's got a wicked job, and he's a great person in the community. Let's get him on stage to give a talk." And Peter does that, and he is feeling very proud. He's up on stage, doing what he loves, talking to the community, and people are listening. But then she runs a check on his work, and it comes back as fraudulent.
Dang.
And then you can feel this moment where it's like, oh man, everything around him has just been crushed. And
shattered.
What has actually happened here is, previously in Dan Slott's run, Doc Ock was in Spider-Man's body, and Dr. Octopus felt like Peter was actually pretty lazy, and he decided to finish his work. That it was half-written reports and things like that, which is a weird thing to do if you've taken over someone else's body. It's like, you know what, I'm actually going to finish off your homework. But anyway, he did that, so that work is actually not his own. He can't admit to that, so he has to just take this blow. Which is a big deal, and this is a big turning point in this comic and in this series. But if you want to,
I just definitely. Before I get into the next page, I just want to say that Nick Spencer is such a really smart writer, because he's not just making his own comic book with Spider-Man. You know what I'm saying? He's also incorporating other writers that done this run before. You know what I'm saying? And giving them, their props, and then still using it into his story, which is fantastic, man. I think that's so cool. It's pretty much when you finish the last Spider-Man run, you expect, brand new everything, same this, same that, you expect a shit ton of characters and whatnot. Yeah, that's true. But with Nick Spencer, he continues what, the last writer that took it on and then makes it into his universe, into his writing in here, which is fantastic by Nick Spencer. I think it's super smart, and I just applaud him for that. That's so fucking cool to me. I don't know, that's just me. So so at the next couple of pages it's just sad. Like Tom said, the first part is oh heck yeah, man, him and Mary Jane is doing fine. He worked his way up all the way to, the rankings of the Daily Bugle. Everybody's loving him. He's doing good. And then when that fraudulent thing happened, everything went to hell. Like in the like in the flip of a coin, dude, super fast. He ends up getting fired by the Daily Bugle. Not only that, freaking it shows him sitting down at a diner with Mary Jane, just telling him his problems and stuff like that. And Mary Jane's just pretty much like, dude, you always got some shit going on. You know what I'm saying? Pretty much. And then, but he's like super down though, dude. Like he's so sad. Because I'm gonna read you like this dialogue on the bottom 3 panels down here. He says, no, you got it all wrong. It wasn't a clone body. Speaking about, you know, the superior, the Doc Ock thingy. And then he said he transferred his consciousness into my body. I mean, now he's in a clone body of me, but that's a totally different thing. And he said, besides, Otto's not my arch nemesis. He's my runner-up nemesis at best. He said, oh, and then Mary Jane's, okay, I apologize. And he's super down. And he says, I just keep seeing Robbie's face. I wish he would have yelled at me. Seeing him like that was way worse. I mean, it's one thing when this stuff ruins my life, but whenever it affects somebody that I care about. And she says, yeah, Tiger, the infamous Tiger. And then she's like, I think I know what you mean. And then Mary Jane just, you know, she feels that too. You know what I'm saying? It's not just his boss, you know, it affects across the spectrum of Peter's life. And everybody is affected and everybody's hurt by what's going on in his life, you know, personally. And it just is sad. And then it says down here, it says, very few people have paid a bigger price for your life as Spider-Man than Mary Jane. And it's so true. He has this really amazing support character in Mary Jane, his girlfriend. And it's just like she's the one that suffers the most out of all of them. You know, of course, like Mary Jane and all his other friends, but you know, it's just she's like, you know, it sucks. And then later on, Nick Spencer touches on their relationship even more in depth, but that's in the future book as well. So, which is really awesome. I really enjoyed that. So on the next page, it just goes more in depth with them, you know, their relationship and everything that's been going on with them and how, you know, they're dealing with it and stuff like that. And I don't know, like Pete's really going through it. And then he ends up like going, I think this is it his home or is it Aunt May's home? I think,
Aunt May.
Yeah, he ends up going to Aunt May's house, and this is where things get really deep. And then Tom's going to tell you about it because it really pulls at the heartstrings. Go ahead, bro.
It does, yeah. It gets you in the feels, this does. But he goes and he tells Aunt May, and he's going to obviously tell her what happened. And she's like, I have a news alert on my phone. Like, I already know what's happened. And he's like, Aunt May, I can explain. And she's like, I set it up. I set it up so that every time you published an article, I'd see it. I read them all. You know, every single article in the science section. I know more about poisonous spores or how whales communicate than I ever thought I'd need to. I share a lot of them with my friends, and everyone is really proud of you, how you've worked your way up from a freelance photographer to, you know, have your own corner of a corner office in the Daily Bugle. Just like I was proud of you when you got the job and things like that. And then she's like, even when your own company failed. So with Dan Slott, he had Peter Parker Industries. That has demised. That's one thing that's not carried across. But she's like, I was even proud of you when that happened. I supported you through that. But this, you lied, Peter. You cheated. You took credit for someone else's work. And this is something that I can't get on board with. I can't forgive you for. And you're just like, oh my God, this guy. Mary Jane is like not really the support anymore. Aunt May is, you know, she's not angry, she's disappointed. That's the worst telling off you can have. But yeah, and she feels like he won't even take responsibility for it, and he can't. He's trying to, you know, say like, oh, it wasn't actually me, but he can't say the real reason it's not him and things like that. And it's just like Peter is at rock bottom now. So from the start of the book, having everything being up there, he is now really, really far down. And this bit, look at these two faces. Look at Aunt May and Mary Jane there. Randy Robertson, he's doing all right. But yeah. Then we go back to the alien invasion. And yeah, so there is a bit here where the Black Cat shows up. which I really find quite funny. So Peter's quips are in here. He's really funny. He's really witty, as he should be. But yeah, he leaves Felicia. He's like, there's something I've got to do on my own. And he's like, bye, Felicia. That made me laugh quite a lot. If anyone's seen Straight Outta Compton, you'll understand that joke. But yeah, he just leaps and he goes up into the sky and he's like, there's something that's not right about these alien. They're like portals. So there's something that's not, right about these alien portals. They seem man-made. So he shoots up into the sky and he's just traveling up and up and up. And then there's these montages, like flashbacks. Do you want to talk about them? Because you really like those things.
Yes, I love that part. It's Friday. The movie's Friday, Tom. Friday.
No, it's not. It's Straight Outta Compton.
It's Friday. It's bye, Felicia. It's Friday. I'm telling you.
It's in Straight Outta Compton as well. Yeah.
Oh, it's in the movie? I haven't seen Straight Outta Compton.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I haven't seen it.
No, yeah. You watch it after this and you'll see.
Okay. But it was on Friday first.
Yeah. It's Ice Cube in both, isn't it? But
yeah.
That's more recent though, isn't it?
Yeah. So, okay, like Tom said, like he's flying straight up into the sky trying to see what the hell's going on with all these aliens down here, this horde of freaking alien bugs or whatever. And there's like this I love this montage. It's really nice, really deep. So I'm going to break it down for you guys. It says maybe it would show them in a
I need your
way.
Oh, a few items to continue.
Hold on, my phone's going off like crazy. I don't know why. Let me turn it off real quick. Sorry about that, guys. Okay, there we go. Let me do this real quick, and it's off. Okay. So the montage is beautiful. Like I said, it said maybe it would show them in a way my dumb tongue tangled words couldn't. How much they inspired me, and it shows Peter as a kid with Uncle Ben and Aunt May sitting on the couch just looking at him playing with his toys. And then it goes to another panel. It says how they had held me up every time I wanted to fall down, how because of them. And it shows, Peter and Mary Jane in each other's arms and stuff. And then it shows the next page, which is Peter's face getting lit up by whatever lights that's up there. He said it was all worth it. He said, yeah, I could live with that being how my story ends, but then again, we don't get to choose these things. And then his face just smashes into this bubble, and next thing you know, who it is, he ends up on a ship, and it's freaking Mysterio, dude. It was Mysterio the whole time that was running this whole ruckus with the horde and all that stuff. So it was all an illusion. The whole time it was Mysterio. So that was pretty crazy. And then he says, it is I, Mysterio, who has engineered the greatest defeat, and soon they will bow before and then Peter like knocks on the window and he's like, oh hell. And then you just see this amazing action scene that Ryan Otley, I'm going to show you guys, that Ryan Otley freaking panned out for you guys is so cool. Like him smashing the glass, 2 webs to the face, getting kneed in the stomach, and then just webs everywhere. Oh, it's fantastic, Ryan Otley. So cool, man. So cool. So we flip to the next page. And then, like you said, in true Spider-Man fashion, he dangles Mysterio at the edge of the building, and Mysterio's like, I just wanted to try something different, I felt like I was in a rut, trying the same things over and over again, making the same mistakes over and over. So I thought, why not try to murder them all at once? Go for the brass ring. He said, make that one big gesture to turn my whole lousy life around. Does that make any sense? He said, you know what? It does. Peter's like, it does. He said, it really does. Thanks, Bubblehead. He said, put in a word for me at my hearing. And then the dialogue of this, like, this is Tom's favorite splash page. You go ahead and show your favorite panel, dude.
Yeah, I love that panel. I just think that's such cool artwork. Best part of the book for me. But yeah, so this is him reflecting on the bit with Mysterio. He says, I can't believe it was one of my bad guys. So this is something, again, that's getting to him. It's like, it's one of his bad guys that's caused all this commotion in New York. So again, he feels responsible for that. Mysterio should be under lock and key, basically due to him. And then he reflects on everything. And it's kind of like he's had a reflection on the reflection that he had at the start. That's a lot of reflection, I'm sorry. But he says, like, I finally know what I have to do. We tell ourselves stories through the hard times, and yes, we tell them, and yes, how we tell them matters. But the truth is that there's only so far they'll take you. You can play the dream in your head over and over again, but if you want things to change, if you want that story to be what your to be your life, you have to wake up. You have to make it real. This is my story. So that's him reflecting on sort of what's happened so far, and then we get Shane's favorite part.
Yeah, dude. So like this amazing. I just want to show it off before I break it down. Look at that beautiful freaking portrait right there. That's something that I think this is I think a second printing or something that of the cover, the first cover and stuff like that. I think I need to get that. That's something I would get slabbed. But anyways, he says, and he's, Mary Jane, rushes over to him because he's like, he's super down and depressed, man. He's really going through it, and then she just kisses him, and it says, you have to make it real. This is my story. It's our story. And then Mary Jane's just super, trying to cheer him up and stuff, and she's like, we're in this together. We always have been. And like I said, going back to it, man, like it's so the difference between Batman and Spider-Man, they're just starting to get Batman this supporting character like Spider-Man always had. And regardless, he's cool. He can go and, shoot webs and climb walls and has super strength and stuff like that. Hey, shout out to Boise! But anyways, he has, like I said, going back, he has this amazing supporting character in Mary Jane, if not mentally and emotionally as strong as Peter, holding him down throughout all this craziness that's going on in his life. And that's what I love about her. I love about her character and how she really does play a really powerful part in Peter and Spider-Man's mythos and stuff like that, his creation. So that was the end of the main story of the Spider-Man run. And then we get into, go ahead, bro.
I was just going to say, just before we go into the epilogue, I'm just going to put my veg on. So anyone in the UK, I'm making roast dinner. I'll be 2 seconds, all right?
Yeah, it's cool. So, yeah. But like I said, Nick Spencer and Ryan, like this book right here was just fantastic, man. Nick Spencer, Ryan Ottley as a duo is just, it's crazy. I love the way that Ryan Ottley draws his Spider-Man. And if there's a lot of amazing artists that draw Spider-Man, and I give them all the respect and stuff like that. But it's just me personally, this is just a personal opinion. The way that Ryan Ottley draws him in his action scenes and the facial features of Peter and just everything that's going on in this book is just fantastic. And I love the way Nick Spencer writes his story. The way he writes his supporting cast, the way he writes the villains, the way he writes mostly everything in this book, because it feels like it's more personal. He humanizes a lot of the characters, and his character development is just fantastic. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of writers out there, like you said, Tom said earlier, like Donny Cates, like he's fantastic. Don't get me wrong, he's really good. He does have the same qualities with the character development, but he's more so like action packed, like panel after panel, page after page, book after book. Like it's just 100% total nonstop action, and that's amazing. And their duo over there with Donny Cates and Ryan Stegman is an amazing duo. But Nick Spencer over here with Ryan Ottley he really strips it down and it makes it feel really raw. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's what I love about that. And I wouldn't have anybody else write it, because that's how you're supposed to write Peter Parker. That's how you're supposed to write Spider-Man. Not just the action aspect of everything, like the humanized, the personal, you know what I'm saying? Like the feelings, like they make it more like when stuff happens, like when you get to the climax of the story of what is going on, that it's gonna affect everything around it in a really deep way. So that's why I'm still holding on to this book, and that's why it's still my pull list, and that's why like I'm so excited for Kindred. You know what I'm saying? Spoiler alert. I went too far. I went too far. I kept on talking. We'll just act like I didn't say that. We'll just wait. Don't even worry about it. Wait for Tom to get back from putting his chicken inside the oven. We'll just don't even worry about what I said. Yeah. But make sure to while we have this brief moment, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to Tom at Space Captain Comics and Shane at Super Paloma Bros. We've been wanting to do this Amazing Spider-Man run for a while, man. I mean, we did other like podcasts and talking comics and stuff like that, but this was something that we were really excited about and stuff. So, but don't tell Tom. I kind of talked about that villain later on in the book. This is between you and me, the reader. I mean, the audience person, whoever's watching this video, if you get to this far in this video, because it's pretty long. It's a long video. Yeah. But anyways, yeah. Out of the current runs I currently collect, Spider-Man is still with me since 2018. I recently just dropped Immortal Hulk. It was just sad, and I didn't want to do it, but it was man, that I had to do because the story was just, it lost me, man. I had to do it. But I can tell you this, honestly tell you this, guys. The first 25 issues of Immortal Hulk was fantastic, but the Spider-Man run is something that I don't think I could ever drop. That's what I was telling Tom earlier. But Tom's back. What's going on, man?
Sorry, what are you talking about?
A lot of things. Don't worry about it, though.
Sorry,
Don't worry about it.
Put my veggies on. You can put a break there if you want, or we can keep it. But yeah, right. So after the initial comic, you have got this page with some words from Nick Lowe, sorry. On here, just talking about like Mysterio and things like that. You've got all of the creative team from the book, and then we go into this like epilogue. So it starts off with this young girl, and she becomes, it's her. So she's just talking about it began at a young age, my love of film, of stories. And then that afternoon, as a young Quentin Beck watched The Mermaid and Tom Hanks find true love, I realized my calling. I realized I had a destiny, and so I wrote. And then she basically becomes like a movie writer, I think, doesn't she?
The man, Tom.
Yeah.
That's
yeah, sorry, it's just the girl. I thought that was the. Is that not the
No. It's the one in the back right here. Look, see that right there? That's Quentin Beck. That's highlighted.
Yeah, but I thought that girl.
No, yeah.
I thought it becomes the lawyer. Is that not her?
No, I think that's just a random girl in the movie theater.
Oh, right, okay. Well, she looks really similar. But yeah, you're probably going to, So it is Quentin Beck, obviously. He is...
he is Mysterio.
Yeah, writing stories. So we all know that he wants to be like a film producer, director, and whatnot, but obviously...
Mm-hmm. So this, like Tom said, this was pretty much, this page was the backstory of Quentin Beck, growing up and him wanting to be that. But then he got rejected. And this what I guess like when he got that no, he became a supervillain. He was like, everybody's gonna pay and stuff like that. So he started. That's how he became Mysterio. And anyway, he's in the courtroom, and he has this little dialogue and stuff like that. He's like, I'm Mysterio, and then the freaking judge is like, that's enough, Beck. And he's like, I understand you're elected to represent yourself, despite the court's strenuous advice to the contrary. He said, that's right. Mysterio does not take notes. He said, that's fine, but I'm telling you, it's not time for your opening statement. He said, monologue. And the judge is like, sure, whatever. My point is, we just need you to enter your plea. He said, I see, Your Honor. Well, then obviously I plead not sane, Your Honor. And then the freaking this woman walks in. She said, "My client pleads not guilty by reason of insanity." And then who is it, Tom? It is the Beetle. You know, the daughter of the mobster Tombstone and former member of the Sinister Six imposter. So that's pretty awesome. You know, she comes in and she's, you know, looking out for Mysterio and trying to help him out and stuff like that. Janice Lincoln for the defense, that's her name, Janice Lincoln. Say, Your Honor, have a seat, Quentin. The bad men can't hurt you anymore. And then and then Mysterio's like, have I? Most certainly will not, Judge. This woman does not speak for me. Mysterio is a one-man show. And she's like, actually, I do, Beck. You've got some scary rich friends, and seeing as you blew the last of your residuals on a bubble spaceship, that can't actually go into space. He said, it can't? He said, and she's like, had to believe the MODOK screwed you like that. So how about you sit down? He said, I will not. Why? I should be the one taking you to court. The 6 villains, one team that was my idea. You stole my intellectual property. She's like, are you serious, dude? I wasn't even going, sorry. And then the next page, it shows the Beetle, you know, just coughing and stuff like that. She's not doing too well, you know what I'm saying? And then next you know, she starts fucking hurling just bugs and just nastiness. And then it shows this horrific scene of the judge, like just bugs coming out of his chest and stuff. And Ryan Otley is just a really demented man. Yeah, he's really. So go ahead and break down this scene for them, Tom, right here. This fucking awesome scene.
So without getting gender confused here between that girl from the start and Quentin Beck. So yeah, basically the whole comic turns into this sort of like horror imagery. And Mysterio's just sitting there and he's like, run. You need to run, you idiot. Exit stage left. So this is his sort of conscience talking. And then all like the people in the courtroom are like, where the fuck is this stuff coming from? And they're all like, I don't know, we've got to get out of here. And at this time, the Beetle's like turned into this weird like corpse. And then you see this little centipede thing here. You don't know what's going to happen there. And then Mysterio is like, please, Quentin. Got to admit, I'm really disappointed in you, man. And then it kind of loses its color and the whole scene goes washed out. So at this point, we're as readers like, what the hell is going on here? It was pretty confusing, pretty graphic. And then reveal, who do we get?
Damn.
A new character. So this is the new villain from this storyline. And he, at the moment, is nameless. Does he get named in this? He doesn't, does he? Is it
No, he doesn't.
Yeah. So
it's named like in the 20s of the Spider-Man run.
Yeah. So let's should we save that to that one? If you've not read this series and this is the first video, we'll go spoiler free. But yeah, so we get the first appearance of this villain. We're really excited to know more about that. Where we are now, we're getting a bit more. But yeah, he says, you're being chased by the thing that catches us all. And then he's like, oh my God, no, please not now. So Mysterio has met this person before. And he says, the person says, not now. If not now, when? You've wasted so much time. Do you think I'd wait forever? And Mysterio's like pleading like, oh, I didn't mean to. I'm sorry. And then the person is like, you never mean to. Yours had such grand plans after all. Ever the showman, and yet. And then again, Mysterio's like bowing down and pleading. He's like, I've been wearing him down slowly. I know his secrets. And here he's talking about Spider-Man, Peter Parker. And the person, it's really hard not to say the person's name. I keep trying to avoid that. His secrets are no use to me. I know Peter better than he knows himself. What I want is some groundwork established, and no one knows how to set the stage quite like you. So Mysterio is obviously a master showman. So this person has hired Mysterio to do a job. Mysterio has failed.
Right.
Yeah, do you want to carry on?
Yeah. So like Tom said, he hired him, and then like he's like going deeper and deeper into the ground. He's like, oh God. He said, please, one last chance. That's all I need. Please, I'm begging you. I won't let you down. And the dude's like, He said, "You had better not. Remember, I walked out." He said, "I walked you out of hell once, Quentin." He said, "It won't be hard for me to drag you back down there again." And he said, "No, no, please." And then next, it flashes back to the court scene. And he's like, "No," and he's just tripping balls, dude. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's just staring at him. He's like, "What the hell's going on with this guy?" And then the judge's like, "Order, order! I'm warning you, Mr. Beck." He said, "One more outburst like that, and you're gonna be holding the contempt." And then Beto says, "I apologize, Your Honor." He said, "As you see, my client's she's like pretty much saying that he's he's not all there. You know what I'm saying? Pretty much." And he's like, "She's right, Your Honor. I need help. Like, I need to change my plea." And then she's like, "That was fucking fantastic." I guess that was fucking fantastic. I guess. She said, "Misty, best acting I've ever seen. You do. Keep it up." But he was not acting. He was really fucking scared for his life. Like he was really scared. And then she says, "And I will. It appears I have no choice. Or maybe it's not acting at all. Perhaps I'm losing my mind." And then we flip to the next panel. And then it shows, this is like, the last scene pretty much. It just shows Peter walking with, I forgot, what was the lady's name at the Watcher?
So it's Cindy Lawton. And they're sort of like, talking about what's happened with the plagiarism and things like that. Right. He's just saying, well, he's like apologizing and stuff, and she's saying like, "Oh, someone's vouched for you. Yeah, someone has really, really struggled a lot, or like done a lot to try and give you a second chance. We don't know who that is." And I was shocked when I turned the page. I was like, "Oh man, that's really cool."
And who is it?
Yeah, you can do the reveal.
And it is fucking the Lizard right there, dude. Wow, at the very last page. So he's the one that vouched for Peter, and he says, "Peter Parker, have a seat." So you know how he talks and stuff. So it's really fantastic, man. That was the Amazing Spider-Man #1, by Nick Spencer and Ryan Ottley, dude. We finally
we got it.
Fucking did it, dude. It was fantastic. I really enjoyed this. It was such an amazing a story. It was well written by Nick Spencer, and the art was fantastically done by Ryan Ottley. This book is really intriguing, and you guys should really invest to it and read it, and just take the time, because Nick Spencer is doing something really special over here. And I know, I see you guys now in that Sins the Sins Rising storyline. I know you guys are intrigued by that one. But if you go back and you start reading from this #1 and on, you see how really great his writing was in the beginning and stuff. So, Tom, Space Captain Comics, what do you rate The Amazing Spider-Man #1, 1 through 10?
1 through 10, I would give it a solid 9. For me, getting back into new comics, I think. Yeah, definitely. It was one of the ones that I wanted to get first, and it really just didn't disappoint. I really enjoyed it. Like I said, the complement of artwork to story is awesome. Whole host of characters in here that I really enjoyed. The depth of the character, the humanity of Peter, and it's so relatable. It was awesome. I don't know what would give it that 10, to be fair, but I just feel like it was definitely a solid 9.
Really good, dude. Really good. So,
what about you?
For me, Shane from Super Paloma Bros, I rate it from 1 through 10. I give the Amazing Spider-Man run a solid 9 as well. Like, just as Tom says. The writing is fantastic. I love the way Nick Spencer writes character development. I love the humanizing every single character, not just Spider-Man, dude. You know what I'm saying? I want to point that out there. He doesn't just write Spider-Man or Peter Parker just well. He writes everybody well. You know what I'm saying? He has character development on everybody, and it pulls at your heartstrings when he wants to. And I was telling him earlier when you were taking your chicken out the oven or whatever, he was like, I was telling the people like, when the climax happens with this storytelling, it really affects you in a certain type of way. Like you feel some type of way because the way he writes the story and the build up to it, into the decline of the story, is just in a whole nother level, man. Like Nick Spencer, his writing is just fantastic. The art in here by Ryan Ollie is just amazing, and I love this book. And I can't wait to just do a full breakdown spoiler review of the second issue, and that's going to be out soon for you guys. But this was Shane Palomo from Super Palomo Bros and Tone from Space Captain Comics, and this was our first ever full breakdown spoiler review of the Amazing Spider-Man, and I'm so happy that you guys were here to witness it. It was an amazing duo, accomplished. What do you think, Tom?
Yeah, that's good. So yeah, please like and subscribe, leave some love. The next one will be out soon, and we have got 45 more issues for you. So this duo will build, this series will build up as well. Confidence will grow, the videos will get better. So yeah, just please show some love, and we'll see you soon.
Yeah, like Tom said, like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll catch you guys in the next video. All right, peace.
Peace out.